And then the area beyond it, this proclaimed um, appendix area that I'm apparently responsible for. Um, it deals with open source, which actually just today would be like a ratification of what we did. But what we did on the ground was the same thing all the way up. And by the time we got all the things all the way up, the stuff that was seemingly behind is actually way further ahead than, what was, I guess, expected to a certain degree or evident in another. Um, so that in a sense, that space itself, we got to one. And so there were people on this side of one thinking that other people were over here, and the people who were good were actually way over here, and the people who were not are the same fucking characters who said that the people who are good are not good to cause war, etc. A real bummer, and then they're all going to be killed for treason because they knew exactly what they were doing. I wish I could make it hurt more. It's kind of a difficult tasking. It's time consuming, energy consumptive to do it, and there's just more important things than joy. But anyway, that area beyond that is open source. So whenever you stand in open source and you look at open source, it makes a lot more sense. Your reach and your draw is a lot better. And then there's different qualifications of quantifications. And after the definition is attained, then you separately, in a sense, apply your knowledge to it. So that's basically all the choice that you get as a person, is whether or not to recognize the information in hand. And it has nothing to do with the grid. The grid has, or the map, or however you want to look at it, has done nothing but accelerate the entire thing. Actually, at the far end of it, the grid itself built the information within it. And we, in a sense, condone our existence by virtue of a vehement persistence into, as in towards, a non-irascible contextualism, which we already have. And then in that kind of deafening boom, we in a sense acclaim the reality that we speak to by nature of that which is total necessarily. And then those things can kind of move around like this. And that's forward progress. That's and the thing is, it's not really will. You get your will, in a sense, out of the way. Your will becomes one, and there's all different classes and classifications and shit like that. And I say that quickly rather than in candor of knowledge or something like that. You wouldn't say something like that in knowledge, during that thing. But you're the environment's greater than you, so it feels like that. And then by the time that you get there, and you kind of cap out, that's your recognition of the process that you undertook, which has already been realized. And then there's like a little flash, and that's the application, so to speak, of your recognition. So there's a tiny little spot in there where your recognition occurs and or goes, and as you look at it, it depreciates. It ceases to exist. And so if we blow that up into some sort of big sociological tasking, through multi-millennia, etc., That's the framework that you get, which is a lie. So that appendix, though, um, is what, like a generalized ignorance? But even though, in truth, it is itself, by the time that it is true, it's not representative of anything. And so you automatically transcend it. So it's another one of those things that doesn't matter. Um, you can't capitulate to it. To put it in context, you can't capitulate to either of those things, no matter what you do. So the struggle of that is kind of what, defamation. I don't know. It's no good. I don't use it. No one uses it.